today, as usual. If you see me doing anything else besides drawing, it might not be. I might not. It might not. I might. There might be an imposter. So I'm just gonna work on this area for about. I don't know how long I'm gonna work. I think it's gonna be about 10 to 20 minutes, um, just so that I did a little bit of work, and that's all that matters. You're gonna find a very obvious trend with how I view drawing or view work. Um, I would love to be able to spend more time on my projects or on my drawings, but half the time it's just either too late, too early, stuff like that. And I want to kind of just check off the day as if, like, okay, one of the things I got to do for the day is draw. So check that off, and then go about the rest of my evening or rest of my day the way I had planned it, or the way I had anticipated it. So, but I didn't anticipate doing a live stream so late. Um, but that's just how the cookie crumbles, man. And I'm just going to work on a small area. Probably going to work in this area for a little bit. You're not going to see a lot of development, unfortunately. That's just how it is. It's just how I'm approaching this drawing. And yes, to answer your question, are better way. There's probably better ways and faster ways, but this way trains me to be more patient. It trains me to practice um, like the gradual application of value and shadow. So it forces me to slow down and to look at the subject matter and to try to render it the best that I can without actually blending. So you'll see a lot of people brushes, blending stuff, their fingers, pieces of paper. I don't do that. I think that might be something I do in the future. I'm going to start practicing that in the future and see how I like it. Um, I am practicing a more direct approach with applying value, which is also a very slow process. The blending through um, blending stumps and pieces of paper and your finger actually is very fast. It's much faster than this. I will give you that. I am not going to argue against that. Um, but it's just one of the parameters or one of the rules that I'm doing in this drawing specifically. I'm doing a directly applying value through the application of layer of graphite, as opposed to taking a brush, taking some charcoal, powdered charcoal, and like putting powdered charcoal onto the surface of the paper and then blending it that way. It's a very slow process, I'll give you that. I'm not going to argue against that. It's annoyingly slow. Like, very, very annoying that it's this slow. But I think if you do it well, it turns out pretty interesting. Um, there is a certain, like, the way this happens is there's like a certain toothiness to the drawing, like the through this method, your picks up more of the texture of the paper, and I think it picks it up better than if you were to do like any other strategy. So it looks a little bit different. Like, your eyes can kind of notice that there's layers of graphite on top of each other, even though it really doesn't know why it's doing that. But I think your eyes can pick it up a little bit, especially like right down here. You can see I haven't really made it dark yet, but I'm going to make it much darker than this. But you can see like the grain of the paper in that regard, in that sense. Anyhow, anyway, kind of just kind of what do you call it, ranting or mumbling or whatever you'd like to call it. I really should move on to a different pencil. Honestly, I really should move on to like a 3H, and perhaps I'll do that in a bit. Maybe I'll move on to that in I don't know, after I mass this out with 5H here. And I wasn't looking that this is going to be a long drawing. And one of the reasons why it's going to be a long drawing is because, well, I'm only working on it 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and I'm live streaming it and recording it. And the reason why I'm recording that is this kind of catalog the process of the drawing. If I were to, and possibly, let's say, 2 hours at a time, it would get done quicker. Not just because I'm working 2 hours at a time, but like because of the prolonged time spent on it, you get kind of like in the groove of drawing, and you start working a little bit quicker, a little bit more effectively. Drawing it in like 5, 10, 15, 20 minute bouts is not really, you know, it's not great. It really makes things difficult because you don't really get that like momentum going, and you're kind of stuck having to reset the speed every time every time you start drawing over again. So drawing for an extended period of time is actually, optimal. But you know, I'm just trying my best to maintain this idea or this notion of drawing every day. I missed yesterday. I missed it. I was really upset about that actually. I missed it. But as Atomic Habits, as the book my gosh, as the book Atomic Habits states, don't miss twice. When I got home from work today, I thought when I was at work today, I was like, I don't know if I want to go draw after work. I was saying that to myself. I was like defeating myself before I even was. I was trying to find a reason why I shouldn't draw today. I was trying to find like some sort of excuse, some sort of way to get out of it. That kind of sucks. That like, man, I'm an artist, and yet I'm trying to figure out ways to get out of making work, to get out of making art. You know, that doesn't sound good. Why am I more loyal to my employers than to my own artwork? That's the funny part about all this. Is like I am more loyal to going to work for my employers than I am for my artwork. And that's a really weird position to be in. Like I'm I'm more prone to going to work and doing something I don't really particularly enjoy over doing this stuff, of which I enjoy, but I just don't enjoy the time that I have to do it. And I think that's always going to be the case. I don't know when that's going to change. That's going to be like, that's going to be point of friction number one. The time that I do my art is always going to be at a time that I don't want to do art. You know, it's like you gotta do yard work, or you gotta mow the lawn or something. Like, oh man, no matter what you do, the time you have to go mow the lawn, you're never gonna want to do it, right? And so that's what it feels like. No matter what time it is, I'm never gonna want to draw. But I said, I think though the time that I proclaimed in the past was like 9 to 11 or 9 to 12 would be like the optimal time that I want to draw. Hey, thank you. What would I be doing now if I wasn't in this? Oh, I want to sit down and eat because I haven't had dinner because I just got off work. I want to sit down and eat, and I want to watch either Upload or what is it? Fallout on Amazon, and then go. That's what I want to do. Um, that's what I really want to do. And so because I'm tired, and but I'm trying my best to set aside time, or at least force myself to draw, um, whether or not I feel like drawing. And one of those things about being a creative, I'm gonna be honest, like this is being a creative, you really feel like drawing, you never really do. There's always, you're always like, it's always gonna feel like it's always gonna be difficult. Now, when you, I don't ever feel like drawing, but when I start drawing, um, I can draw for an extended period of time. Drawing for multiple hours on end. Um, but I just have to kind of force myself out, force myself to, So what I've done is I changed pencils to a 3H, which is slightly, it's softer than the 5H I'm using. And I'm going to darken this area, and then I might go back over here. But I really want to get this darkened before I can darken this part of the lady's neck. And then go back up here a little bit and move around between all these areas. But I need to darken the background more. And I'm really trying this idea of just slowly building up the layers. As I said, this is going to be a test in my like a patience test for me. This is something I'm trying to train myself, get used to, because I'm pretty good at it. Like I have a decent amount of patience for drawing, but there's a limit to it. So I think the patience is helped by the fact that, like, at least when like this, I can see the actual changes. All right. Well, thank you, man. Brain rot. There's brain rot streams. Uh, I thought brain rot was like 15-second, like. Oh gosh, I don't know. I gotta look up the definition of that. But I lost my train of thought. What I'm trying to do here is force myself this notion of building up that patience skill. I have no problem working on pieces, but like if you're working on excuse me, if you're working on an artwork or a piece where you're not seeing a lot of progress and you're putting in the hours and it's not really working out, it's just not developing, then that can be it can be disconcerting. Anyways, it changed from a 5H to 3H, building up the value here slowly. I could very well go from a 3H to a 2B and just press harder, but I don't want to just press harder. I want the innate qualities of the pencil that I'm working with to create the layering effect that I want. So I want to maintain the toothiness of the paper, and if I apply too much pressure on the paper, it will lose softness. So I'm trying to make it so that the value gets darker, but it's still, you can still see like the grain of the paper, and so that's what I'm trying to do for now. Which takes a while, much to my Chagrin, would that be, is that a word? I think it's dismay. Chagrin, is that another word for dismay? Anyways, I don't want to build this value up too much because then I might lose the lines that I have established here. That's what I'm kind of seeing happen. So what we might need to do is, let's see, we're at 16 minutes. Going to work on it about 4 more minutes. I'm using an HB. I don't have a 2H. I probably do have a 2H pencil somewhere. What's the, what pencil is this? Oh, 3H. This is a pencil I broke, but I haven't resharpened yet. Okay. Fun stuff, right? Just like doing this is great. Woo! Exciting. You get to watch what it's like to see an artist, like how the exciting life of artists in real time, especially when you do like stuff like this. Now, I'm gonna give. Don't get me wrong. There's those artists that you watch them sketch. If you watch an artist sketch, that's exciting. There's some immediacy to it. It's like it happens like that. Bob Ross would do a painting in 30 minutes, and he would talk the entire time, and he wouldn't get distracted like I am. He would talk, and he would get a painting done in 30 minutes. Woo, that's amazing. Do you realize how good of an expert you have to be at that technique to be knocking out an 18 by 24-inch landscape painting in 30 minutes using a wet on wet method? It's not easy. Now, like maybe if it was like I would understand if it's like a 3 hour, 5 hour, like you get done, you do a painting in one session, like one 3 to 5 hour session, but 30 minutes, woo, that is some skill. That's some skill. So a lot is changing, right? Like it's a little bit of things happening, and that's what we want. Um, as I said, as I get more hours or more time into this, I will slowly ratchet up the speed, and as my comfort level, as I get more comfortable with how I'm going to be working with this drawing, I'll be what would it be? What would be a word for it? Like not a good, definitely I guess being more willing to take some visual chances with it. Um, yeah, eating already. Yeah, I'm gonna be I'm having something to eat soon too. I just wanted to do, yeah, in about a minute or so. I'm gonna be going. I'm gonna be jetting. I just wanted to get a little bit of drawing in for the day or for the night, and I wish it would go faster. Don't get me wrong. I wish this process would go faster. I wish um, I wish I was a little bit more comfortable with this technique, but I'm not super. It's not like what I do regularly. So I don't do grid drawings. I don't. I do draw portraits, but I don't do grid drawings like this. Especially with this, the idea of using this pencil strategy, this approach, drawn with a pencil approach like this, where I'm layering the value up uh, slowly. Usually, I'm a little bit more aggressive with it, and which, you know, fair enough. Fair enough. Just slowly. Now I don't know, like this is tricky because these these I'm taking this. I'm doing a drawing of a painting, and I talked about this in the past, where the painting has like hard and soft edges. So there's not like it's not like they have a strong contour line around here. It's very foggy, like it's very soft around that. And I'm trying to figure out like how hard and soft edge do I want when I'm working on this area. So that's one of the things I'm pondering when I'm working on this. Anyways, going on past 20 minutes. I got to get going. As I said earlier, I was just going to do a quick like 10 to 20 minute live stream. I think once done with my commission that I'm working on, I'll be able to do longer live streams in the future. Right now, I'm having to work on my commission, which is not this, and work on this back and forth. Once I get my commission done, I'll be spending more time on this stuff. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I gotta go. You all have a great night, or a great evening, great morning, whatever. Great day.